Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the course of complex variables and transforms, and this is our lecture number 6. In today's lecture, we will try to solve the complex questions and the concepts that have been given in the previous 5 lectures. So in today's lecture, we will apply the concepts to solve the basic questions from the complex analysis. Now the practice question for the complex analysis. Let z1 is equals to 8 plus 3 iota and z2 is equals to 9 minus 2 iota. Here the real part of z1 is 8 and the imaginary part of z1 is 3. Similarly, the real part of z2 is 9 and the imaginary is minus 2. And you are asked to basically add them. So what you will do? You will add the real part of z1 with the real part of z2. And similarly, you will add the imaginary part with the imaginary part. So you will get the final answer 17 plus iota. Similarly, you can have the multiplication of these two complex numbers. In case of multiplication, first of all, you will expand the two given complex numbers. You will multiply them with each other. Then you will separate the real part and imaginary part of the function. So this is the value of multiplication of z1 and z2. Now the subtraction and the division of the complex numbers. As we have studied in the previous lectures, subtraction and division are defined as the inverse operation of addition and multiplication respectively. Thus the difference z is equals to z1 minus z2 is a complex number z, for which z is equals to z plus z, z1 plus z2. It is basically the inverse operation of the addition when we talk about subtraction. So z1 minus z2 is equals to, what we are doing basically, we are basically subtracting the real part from the real part, and we are subtracting the imaginary part from the imaginary part of the complex number. Now the quotient rule, which is also known as the division of the complex number. Here z is equals to z1 over z2, where z2 must not be equals to 0, is a complex number z for which z1 is equals to z1 is equals to z into z2 exists. So we equate the real part with the real and imaginary with the imaginary to find out the solution. Here, if the z1 is equals to x1 plus iota y1 and z2 is equals to x2 plus iota y2, then z1 over z2 will give us the values of x in the form x plus iota y, where x would be x1 x2 plus y1 y2 over x2 square plus y2 square, and y will give us x2 y1 minus x1 y2 over x2 square plus y2 square. Here we can see that in the division of the complex number, the denominator is basically free from the imaginary or the iota form. So how the quotient rule works and how this division is possible? So we will multiply the denominator's term, we will multiply basically conjugate with the denominator's term with the simple R question. Like the given question was x1 plus iota y1 divided by x2 plus iota y2. So we will multiply and divide it with the conjugate of the denominator, that is x2 minus iota y2 and x2 minus iota y2. So after the multiplication of the term in the denominator and denominator, we will get those values which have been discussed earlier. So here the real part is x1 x2 plus y1 y2 over x2 square over y2 square, and imaginary is x2 y1 minus x1 y2 over x2 square plus y2 square. Here is the given question where z1 is equals to 8 plus 3 iota and z2 is equals to 9 minus 2 iota. So you are asked to subtract them. What you will do? 8 plus 3 iota minus 9 minus 2 iota. So 8 minus 9 is minus 1. and 3 iota minus minus plus, so it will becomes 5 iota. Similarly, you have to divide these two. So what you will do, you will multiply and divide with the denominator's conjugate, that would be 9 plus 2 iota. Then you will simplify it, and after that you will get the denominator, that would be free from iota. So this is the real part, 66 over 85 plus 43 over 85 iota, which is the imaginary part. Complex numbers satisfy the same commutative, associative and distributive laws as of the real numbers. All these properties we have discussed in chapter number 2 and in the lecture number 2 also. Now the complex conjugate number. The complex conjugate z bar of a complex number x plus iota y is defined as z bar x minus iota y. It is obtained geometrically by reflecting the point z in the real axis. It shows for 5 plus 2 iota. Here in this graph you can clearly see that a number and its conjugate, how they are related with each other. They are basically same in the real part and the imaginary part, but only with a negative sign. Here the number is 5 plus 2 iota, and here the number is 5 minus 2 iota. So they are basically the reciprocal of each other. Now, a complex conjugate is important because it permits us to switch from the complex to the real. That is important. Indeed, by multiplication of z with its complex conjugate z bar, we will have a real number, that is x square plus y square. And by addition and subtraction, when you add them you will have a real part, and when you subtract them you will have only a imaginary part. Thus, we obtain for all the real parts x and the imaginary parts y, not iota y. So simply we can say that when you multiply a number with its conjugate, you will have a real part, and when you add them you will have a real part. When you subtract them you will have an only imaginary part. So the real part x of a complex number is equals to 1 over 2 x z over z plus z bar, and the imaginary part y is equal to 1 over 2 z minus z bar. If z is real, so z is equals to x and z bar is equals to z by defining the z conversely. How they are related, in next slide we have a question and you will apply the technique how to solve it. These are some of the properties of the conjugate. If two numbers are added and there is a conjugate of whole of these two, because z1 plus z2 will generate another complex number, that is z3. So the conjugate of the addition is equals to the conjugate of the separate complex numbers by addition. Similarly, you can also do that in subtraction. In multiplication and division also you can separate the conjugates. Here z1 is equals to 4 plus 3 iota and z2 is equals to 2 plus 5 iota. So as it was given for real z, x is equals to 1 over t z plus z iota, we will do that 1 over 2 iota (4 plus 3 iota minus 4 minus 3 iota), so it will give us the real number. Also for the multiplication z, z2, you can basically separate the conjugate to have the same answer. Here there is an overall conjugate, you will first multiply the terms and then you will have the conjugate. So the final answer is minus 7 minus 26 iota. But if you have a separate conjugate and you will multiply these two values, again you will have the same answer. Now these are some of the practice questions that you will solve from homework. Now in the question number 1 you have to show that iota square is equals to minus 1. How? Iota cube is minus iota and these are some of the powers that are given. In question number 2, it is saying that multiplication by iota is geometrically a counterclockwise rotation through 90 degrees or pi by 2. Verify this by graphing z and iota z and the angle of rotation. So what you will do in these question, first of all, for question 1, z is equals to 2 plus 2 iota, you will sketch these on real and imaginary plane. Then you will multiply z with iota, so it will becomes 2 iota minus 2. So again you will sketch it on a xy plane and you will see that the point have been shifted through the 90 degrees. Similarly for these two questions also. In question number 4, if the product of two complex number is 0, if there are two complex numbers in the form x plus iota y and their product is 0, show that at least one factor must be 0. So you have to show that at least the real or the imaginary part would be 0. So that is the practice question that you have to solve. In the next question, you have to show that z is equals to x plus iota y is pure imaginary if and only if z bar is equals to minus z. So you have a complex number, you will take its conjugate and you will show that its conjugate is equals to minus of that complex number. In this question, z1 and z2 are given and you have to show that what would be the value for 5z1 plus 3z2 whole square, z1 multiplied by z1 bar multiplied by z2 bar, real of 1 over z square, real part of this question, real part of z2 square and real of z2 square. Here there is a difference between these two. In this you will solve the question and you will take the square of the whole number, but in this case you will take the square of only the real part. Similarly you will solve z2 over z1, that is the quotient rule, and in question number 12 you will show that in z1 bar divided by z2 bar, first you will solve and find the solution of this and then you will find the solution of z1 over z2 whole bar and you will show that these two are equal. Now the polar form. The complex numbers become even more useful and give the further insight to the arithmetic operations for the complex numbers. If besides xy coordinates they also imply the usual polar coordinates that are basically r and theta. So in the polar form of the complex number, x is equals to r cos of theta and y is equals to r sin of theta. So the polar form of the complex number is equals to r into cos of theta plus iota sin of theta, where r is basically the modulus x square plus y square under root and theta is basically the angle which is given by tan inverse y over x. Here x plus iota y is basically a simple complex number. Now in the question, z is equals to 1 plus iota, you will first take its polar form, that is equals to under root 2 cos pi by 4 plus iota sin pi by 4. So how you will find the polar form? First of all, from the number you will take its modulus to find out r. Here the value is under root 2. Then you will take the tan inverse to find out the angle, that is pi by 4. So the final form of this function is basically under root 2 cos pi by 4 plus iota sin pi by 4. Similarly, any complex number can be converted into its polar form just as given in this question. Now the multiplication and the division of the polar form. If z1 is equals to r1 cos theta 1 plus iota sin theta 1 and z2 is equals to r2 cos theta 2 plus iota sin theta 2, then when you will multiply these two, so you will get that r1 r cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 sin theta 2 plus iota sin theta 1 cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1 sin theta 2. So the simplest form of the multiplication of the complex numbers are r1 r2 cos into theta 1 plus theta 2 plus iota sin into theta 1 plus theta 2. And similarly in the product, the modulus of the whole would be equal to modulus of the multiplication of two separate functions. So the taking absolute values, we can see that absolute value of the product is equals to the product of the absolute values of the factors. Similarly, just like in quotient rule, in polar form, z1 over z2 is equals to r1 over r2 into cos into theta 1 minus theta 2 plus iota sin theta 1 minus theta 2. To comprehend the formula, note that in the polar form of a complex numbers of absolute values r1 and r2 and arguments theta 1 minus theta 2, but these are the absolute values of the argument z1 over z2, and how you can find out the values. Here is the question: if z1 is this and z2 is this, how you will multiply these two? r1 r2 into cos theta 1 and theta 2, but these numbers are in the form of the coordinate planes. First you will convert them into the polar form and then you will apply the rule. So this was all from the today's lecture. I hope you have understood the lecture and you have get the idea how to solve the basic operations on the complex numbers. The questions that have been given in the slides for the home practice are important. You have to solve these questions and submit an assignment online. So thank you so much.